I'm just a random kid from a random town with a random story. And you watching this video, you're probably the exact same. I was gonna go look at that electric Porsche, that blue one, that light blue Taycan, whatever you want to call it, 4-cylinder. But the mileage was fucking way too high for an electric car. 60,000 miles on an electric car? Fuck no. Hell no. Especially for the price they wanted for it. I've been to that dealership and they're firm on kind of how they negotiate, so I'm good off that. But anyway, it is 2024. The date is October 5th. I actually turned 20 in 17 days as of the recording of this video. But by the time this video is posted, there's a good chance that I'm already 20. But in this year, 2024, I have amassed quite a bit. I bought my dream watch, my Rolex Daytona Panda. It's a $30,000 watch. I purchased my dream car. This is my Aston Martin Vantage 2020 rear-wheel drive. I purchased my dream apartment here in New Jersey. That was 40, 50 grand just for the year. We've gone out a ton. We've traveled to different states. We had a very eclectic and interesting year. And I deeply regret these things because there's a lot of good, right? There's a lot of incredible things that happen and there's a lot of not so incredible things that happen. And on the internet, I feel like you see a lot of the upside. You see a lot of people that post their wins. They post their dubs, the car, the watch, the this, the that. They post all the good things that are going on, but what about the bad? What do I regret? What went wrong this year? Well, if I'm being quite honest, I'm someone that lives life, honestly, with no true regret. I live life in lesson. And I live life in a sense of, if I didn't learn that lesson, I wouldn't get to where I am today. So do I have any true regret? No. But are there certain things that I learned this year that I thought I knew that I needed to learn even deeper? Yeah. And that's outside of business, because what I've noticed is that in business and in my marketing agency and in my brand, I learn things that just apply to daily life. So these are some of the things that I took off the chin. These are some of the things that I deeply regret this year. And one of those things is not spending enough quality time with family. So this was one of the most busy years in terms of building the business. Mind you, it's not over. We still have the last quarter to go. But when you get caught up in building something and when you're really dedicated to it and when you're passionate about it and when you care about it and when you love that thing, you put all your eggs in that basket and you bust your ass on it and you're willing to go and you're willing to do whatever it takes to make that thing work, even if it means sacrificing quality time with your loved ones. And I had to learn this year that I need to learn 100% presence. So it's okay to work 10 hours a day. It's okay to wake up and work from 9 o'clock to 7 o'clock hard on a business and not have regret, but you need to be fully present. So in those 10 hours, if I'm working, I'm working. When 7 o'clock hits, I no longer want to think about the company. I no longer want to think about business. If I'm being present with a friend or a family member, I need to be fully present with that person. And that's something that I've been really bad at. I'm constantly thinking about how things could be better, where we need to go. Are we going to get a tax benefit if we move to Florida? There's so many things just pulsing and in my mind and racing, and I'm constantly focused on how we can acquire more traffic and get content to perform better and put a better machine around this and a better system around this and get the revenue to this number. There's so much going on. And when there is a lot going on and when there is a lot of moving parts, it's hard to remove yourself and it's hard to say, okay, today I'm going to work these hours and by the time this time hits, let's say it's 9 o'clock, I'm going to spend the rest of the day with my family and I'm going to enjoy and love my time with them. Because realistically, I was thinking, what's going to happen as I get older is I'm probably going to regret not spending more quality time with people that I love. And that's not something that I want to have to face. I don't want to grow old with regret. It's not something that I want. I want to be able to grow with my memories. And although doing all these great things inside my business are creating memories, there's other things that will create even deeper memories as well. And the whole point of building a business is for it to serve you, right? So if you build something that does not serve you and it really doesn't make you feel happy and you don't wake up in the morning excited and passionate about that thing, then why even have it, right? What is actually the point? There's no point. There's absolutely no point. Rush is turning into a dealership over here, so I'm going to start checking out what's over here as far as cars go. But yeah, as far as my deep regrets, it's just not being able to practice full 100% presence. And now I know that It's a skill, and it's actually a skill just like self-discipline, just like being able to stay motivated. That is a skill that literally needs to be practiced through repetition. And I'm getting better and better at it. And it's hard when you're someone that really loves what you do. When work doesn't feel like work, you integrate it so deeply. And for me, I'm all about work-life integration. But there is times where you need to learn how to turn it off. And I'm learning that now. I'm learning that, you know what, Luke, there's situations where leave the business out of it. You know, the business will be okay. It's okay to take a day off on a Sunday so that I can prepare things for the week and so I can approach the week with a clear head. It's okay to put it down for a couple hours. It's okay. And it's something that, like I said, I am getting better at. But I've taken a lot of heat from family members and friends that are just like, you know, you're always working. Why don't you live a little bit? And to me, I've never looked at it that way. I'm like, I am living. Like even me making this video, technically I'm working right now, but this is just a hobby. This is just something that I like to do. I get to make content, I get to help people, and I get to improve or at least increase their quality of life somehow. And that to me is something that I'm passionate about. So does that feel like work? No, it doesn't feel like work at all. But it's so easy to get into tailspins of talking about, you know, our business because it's just what we handle all day. And it's just something that I'm passionate about. So practicing more presence is one thing that I deeply regret not doing this year. What is this fucking light? Another thing that I deeply regret is not delaying my gratification by a little bit. So I'll tell you honestly, for me, whenever I set a goal, if I want to do something, like for example, I want to make a dumb purchase, I need to have an associated goal connected to that purchase. So for example, if I want to buy something that I know is going to be, generally speaking, a really bad investment, then the company needs to do a certain amount of profit by a certain time period to do it. And I made some impulse buys this year. I'm not gonna lie. All the things that I say not to do, that's definitely one big one that I've suggested don't do. Don't make any impulsive buys. I've done it. I mean, I pulled the trigger on this car pretty quick. The watch, the apartment, I pulled the trigger on those things relatively quick. I don't believe in still money. I don't believe in letting money sit. I think it's one of the dumbest things that you can do. I always invest into anything that's not cash. I try to be cash poor. I want stocks, I want crypto, I want money back in my business, I want timepieces, whatever it is that's not cash, I want to get my hands on. So unfortunately, sometimes it makes me make dumb purchases because I'm like, you know what, I want to get rid of this money. I have a lot of extra money lying around. Let me just pick up this thing. And it might be something that I really don't need. It's at a point now though with my business where things are so automated that I don't need to really work much on the business. So for me, the revenue is going to keep going up, the profit's going to keep going up, even without my direct inflection. And although that was actually my goal, I didn't want it to feel like this. This is not what I thought having an automated business, passive cash flow, blah, blah, blah would feel like. Because at a certain point, you're just bored. And you just want to figure out where to spend your time. Because it's like, well, if I don't need to work on the business, if it's going to keep growing without me, if people are in the right place to manage it and operate, then what's the next thing? You know, do I just build another business? Then you start going deep on why you're even doing it. And I deeply regret losing my why. My why when I first started was I wanted to prove people wrong. I wanted to provide a better life for myself. I wanted to, you know, I wanted to provide a better life for my brother, for my parents. And when you start doing all these things, you start to dig a little bit deeper because you start to realize, okay, well, this was a goal that I thought was going to make me happy. And when you achieve all of your goals at such a young age that you thought were going to make you happy, you almost wonder like what's left. And obviously I'm not done making money. There's next levels and I will have mansions and I will achieve all these great things. But I know that it's not going to be connected to any level of happiness personally for me because I've learned that we as human beings are very good at adopting. We adopt to our new level of normal very fast. And this new level of normal I've kind of already adopted to. Like I drive a nice car, I live a good life, things are good, but I've adopted to it. So this is now my level of normal. So I don't wake up every day super excited the way that you might think. Like, oh, you see all these TikToks, when you and your boy get rich, you're going to do this every day, you're going to do that every day. Listen, you can go out and have a good time. I go to clubs, I do this, I do that. But it's not all that it's really piped up to be. The only benefit of making money is so that you can have your peace of mind because you think that you want to be rich, but really what you want is you want the ability to choose. You want the ability to choose what you actually do in a day without money being a constraint factor or a limiting factor all the time. Because for many people, it is. That's kind of where I'm at. And now I'm just thinking, you know, what's the next level? Like, what do I actually want to do? If money wasn't a factor, which let's say it's not right now at this level of life, what do I like doing? Do I want to go play golf all day? Not really my thing. Do I want to, I don't know. Do I want to sit down and read stock charts all day? Not really. So when you start thinking about what you actually want to do with your time, I want to help more people. I want to help more people get to the goal that they are so set and fixated on focusing on, so that I can watch them get there and kind of hold their hand every step of the way until they're financially at a point where they want to be. Because I was so fucking lost at a certain point in my life. And you know what? I figured it out. It took a long time. It took many, many years to figure it out, but I got it figured out. And my whole mindset is this: I'm just a random kid from a random town with a random story. And you watching this video, you're probably the exact same. So don't disconnect anything that I've done from anything that you can't achieve. You can do what I've done and so much more. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, I promise you. You can do so much more, but you need to have a mission and a purpose behind it. My own personal interest and my own personal greed, I hate to say it, was a big motivating factor for a long time. And after you achieve things that you want to materially, you start to realize that all you have is your experiences. And really, all you want to do with your money is just enjoy your experiences, because that's really all we have as human beings. So those are some of my big regrets. I made a bunch of money this year, more money than I ever have, and I hope next year's even better. But things aren't perfect in my life. I still have my own issues. And in the past, I always thought if I just hit this next goal, this next level, this next goal, this next level, that would just drown out my problems. And I was just wrong. It never did. And it never will. So anything that needs to be worked on personally, money can't fix, because money really does intensify a lot of things. So for example, let's say you have a bad relationship with your mother, or you have a bad relationship with your brother, and you start coming into money. Do you think that that's going to make the relationship better or intensify it? You're just adding another layer of argument. If you have money, but if you don't have peace, I feel as though it's not actually worth it. It's really not. And I was thinking about this too, because I was talking to Rudy about this off camera, and I want to mention it now too. I was thinking, like, if I do have kids one day, which obviously I'm years and years away from that, I'm still young, but when I do have my kids, am I going to want them to grow up rich? Because I didn't grow up rich, and that's the exact reason that I've become rich. I know a lot of kids that grew up with rich parents and they grew up in wealthy families, and those are going to be my kids. And the reality is, I don't want them to grow up with that stigma that they're going to get to inherit things, and I'm not going to let them fucking inherit things. That's just my personal take. I think that that's complete garbage. But what I will give them is the opportunity to succeed. Because when you know how much work people put in to make a small amount of money, it's upsetting, and it makes you want better for your life and for your loved ones as well. And the only way to do that is to literally just learn the skill of building a business, a good cash flowing, profitable business. For me, it's a marketing agency, and how to make more and more money. And that's really what I understand. Because if I'm not doing that, and if I'm not focused on increasing my quality of life through doing that, then what else would I really be doing? You know, because there's only so many things you can do. How many dinners can you get? How many times can you go to the club? How many times can you play golf? These things get old. And like I said, you get used to your new level of normal very, very, very fast. Very fast. I can promise you guys, it's actually just in life, the idea of doing a lot of things that's more fun than the actual doing of the thing. And that's another one of my regrets. Looking on Instagram, probably maybe even looking at my Instagram and seeing, you know, Luke has brotherhood, money, in shape, like you know, what am I missing? Like, I wish my life was more like his. You probably don't, because you don't know any of the things that I deal with personally. You don't know any of the headaches or the traumas that I've gone through, and everyone's dealing with their own shit. That's what I've learned. Early in the year, sometimes I used to look at other people's lives and I used to assume that things were better than they were, and if I could just switch positions with this person for this one thing, things would be better. And I no longer think that way. Like, the struggle that I was given is a struggle that I need to interpret and I need to digest, and it's my struggle, no one else's. Even in the beginning of the year, kind of victim mentality a little bit, and it was holding the business back, but now I've kind of matured a little bit over the last couple months to say, you know what? A lot of people's lives have a lot of fucked up things in them, and you just need to learn how to weather the storms. There will be good times. There will be bad times. There will be good times. There will be bad times. And in business, it's the same way. You have a good month. You have a bad month. You have a great month. You have a shit month. It's okay. As long as you stick through it and you can weather the storm, you can win. So a couple things that I regret this year, really they're lessons. I don't have, like I said, super deep regrets. I just wish that I would have learned some of these things a little bit sooner. But you take those things off the chin. You roll with the punches and you have a good time. So this is just a quick one. Wanted to kind of give you guys an update on how everything's been going. The agency is doing well. Everything is pushing and pressing forward. So I don't know when this video is going to be released, but I'll probably be 20 in the next video. So that's going to be another whole chapter of my life, and maybe we'll make a video about that. Who knows? And I'm excited to see what 2025 has in store as well. I think it's going to be a pivotal year, and I think we're going to make a ton of money and have a ton of great experiences and hopefully do even better than 2024. That's the goal. 1% better each day. You're 300-something% better each year. That's the goal. You keep doing that, you're going to be okay. So I hope to see you guys in the next video. Those are some of the things that I deeply regret as a multi-million-dollar entrepreneur. I've made my mistakes. I've scraped my knees. I've gone through my own shit. I'm sure you guys all have. You weather the storms, you're going to win. All right? Now, with all that being said, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Now go work.